Hey, you beautiful twin flames, and welcome back to Tarot for You 444. I'm so delighted you could join me today, and I'll be back on camera soon. But for now, I want to give you an audio message because I really want you to hear what I'm saying, okay? So I don't want any distractions with cards and things at the moment. I'm so delighted that you're here, and I want to say for all of those beautiful people that I've worked with recently, I am so proud of how far you've come. I'm so proud of your understanding of what I'm trying to communicate through not only through the tarot, but through the through the concept videos, and also through just the general messages that come through for everyone. So I feel like some of you feel guilty sometimes. This is kind of the topic I want to bring up. I'm going to bring up a few different topics today, and also the divine masculine, so just stay tuned. But I feel as though some of you feel really quite guilty when you go through a difficult time. So, if you can't meet the needs of those around you, whether that be family members or your twin flame or your, I don't know, whoever it is that relies on you, maybe it's yourself, I feel like there's this guilt that comes about when you can't do the tasks that you may have set yourself for the day, or for the week, or whatever it is. And I want you to drop that now and let that go. And I want you to understand that we all have a part of ourself which has darkness. For there to be light, we also have to have some kind of darkness, which would, I guess, typical spiritualists might call it the shadow side of the self. And, this side is the side that could be prone to ego, prone to addiction, prone to, I don't know, saying that thing you shouldn't say to that person in the moment, which stems from ego. It's kind of the opposite of the heart space. It's where fear can reside, and it's also where a lack of faith, a lack of trust, that part that wants to give up, that part that wants to quit, And so I don't want you to feel guilty if you feel your shadow side coming up in any kind of way. As light workers or twin flames, or whatever label you want to give yourself, if any label at all. Some people don't want to label themselves at all, but you need to understand that we are born into a human body, and so we can struggle with many different things. All right, so I want you to embrace that shadow side of yourself, and as you try and better yourself from that shadow side, from those things that can hurt you, especially if that's an addiction or if that's some kind of behavior that's harmful to you, I want you to realize that a lot of that shadow side does come from where you came from as a child, perhaps, and also the people and places and situations that you have been around in your life, and that all of those things together make up who you are. So someone might be bullied at school, someone may have suffered some trauma or abuse, an emotional disconnection in some kind of way, or an addiction, those types of things, an abusive relationship, or just general hardship or poverty can change people. So I want you to be aware that your shadow side comes about because of the things that you have gone through, and that you should never feel guilty about having a shadow side, because without the shadow part of you, you can't have the light. Okay, if we look at that yin and yang principle, which is spoken about in traditional Chinese spirituality, you have the yin and the yang, the light and the dark, and without one there cannot be another. You know, like without the day there can't be the night, without the up there can't be the down. So although they are opposite, they actually complement one another, and we live in a universe where there are many dualities which complement one another. So, you know, it's important to understand this and embrace it, and know that although you're trying to be your best self, you know, and no one's ever going to be perfect. So it's this understanding that without that shadow side of you, without that darker aspect of you, you wouldn't be able to get into the light, because it's the darkness. It's that understanding of knowing what it feels like to go through the darkness that enables you to want to reach for the light and be the light. Okay, so don't ever feel guilty about, you know, I don't know, maybe when you were 5 years old you went to a shopping center and stole some candy or something. You know, just let all that go, let all the guilt of your past go. If you're doing things now which aren't serving you, just know that you're going to come to a place soon where you can stop doing that. You know, that might be overeating, it might be an addiction of some kind, it might be that you, I don't know, get mad at your at your boss or something, I don't know. You know, there might be some shadow side of you that you want to change and fix. But don't beat yourself up about anything, because we are all human. Wow, my throat chakra's going crazy because divine masculine's trying to come through at the moment too. So let me get into him. He, for the collective, some of them can't get to you right now. They are doing some things with relation to their karmic life that's really kind of important. Some of them also are, you know, have financial issues, which is not helping the situation of them coming to talk to you or coming to see you and that kind of thing. So if you're in a period of separation and you're not sure why, just know that the divine masculine hasn't stopped thinking about you. You are on his mind, you know, nearly 24/7. He's just got some stuff to do, and as the lead up to the Christmas rush builds, you know, many people celebrate Christmas, and so, you know, there's all this organization that comes with that. If there's family and friends that, you know, they need to, I don't know, buy gifts for, or maybe there's more bills that come up during that Christmas period time or something like that. So divine masculine is really working hard at the moment, and because he is expending more of his energy than usual, he needs the divine feminine to try and be as balanced as possible. So even if you're feeling a little bit low or a little bit down or a little bit like everything's overwhelming, just try and do the self-care thing where you go, okay, well, I've got, you know, these 5 things to do today. That might be, you know, have a shower, I don't know, go to work, drop off the kids, whatever it might be, but then come back into that self-love. So just do 2 tasks and then do the self-love, and then do 2 more tasks and then do the self-love. You know, at the moment, for many divine feminines, it's literally just one step after the other. Many divine feminines have wanted to give up, and many divine feminines are in you know, situations, living situations, or situations at work and different things that they're not happy about right now. So as you move forward, knowing that the best is coming for you, just try and give that self-love in each moment. So, you know, do a couple of tasks, then do some self-love. Do a couple of tasks, then do some self-love. Okay, and that will keep you going. A great thing that you can do is go out into either into nature or into the garden, and bring some water with you and put your feet in the dirt and create some mud and really squelch your toes in there. If you can go to a beach and do this in the sand, that would be really, really healing and feel fantastic. It's basically about following your joy, though. As you follow your joy, everything that you need and desire will eventually come to you. Because we live in the third dimensional reality, there is some difference in timing. So because we live in a dense matter filled world, you can't just think, oh, I want that specific person to come to me, and they come in a matter of in a matter of 3 minutes they're at your door. Maybe in another dimension, if that wasn't so dense, that would be possible. And if you've ever studied anything to do with telepathy and those kind of things, you'll know that a thought is very powerful, especially when with relation to twin flames. You can literally think about your twin flame and they are there. So as you try and understand yourself more, which is the journey, which is the spiritual journey of the twin flames, you'll come to understand that, okay, yes, you have a shadow side, and that yes, you also have a light side. And of course, most twin flames are trying to work towards this, being the light, being the light, being the light, being the light. But then if they have like a hiccup or something goes, they're not practicing as much, or they're not being as spiritual, or they're not praying as much, or they're not, I don't know, sticking to their diet, or whatever it is that they've decided to, maintain for themselves as an ongoing practice. If they stray from that, they can feel guilty. And today I want to tell you not to feel guilty, because we are made up of a dark and a light, and it's why twin flames work. The fact that twin flames complement one another is also an opposite effect, but a complementary opposite effect. So let's do some opposites now so that we can understand this a bit better. We have the male and the female, we have the light and the dark, we have the up and the down, we have the left and the right, we have the yin and the yang, we have the hot and the cold, and we also have other elements, which if you look up yin and yang online, you'll see all the elements which belong to the male and the female aspects of yin and yang. The sun and the moon, the day and the night, etc. Okay, so without the day, we wouldn't know the night. Without there being a left, we wouldn't understand right. Okay, and so this is a really beautiful understanding overall, because the fact that they are opposites and yet complement one another is very beautiful. In my mind now, I have a picture of how they do that fast forward photography, where you have it might be, I don't know, a specific town or a country or something, and there is they do the sunset, and then they do the morning sun coming up, and then they do the sunset, and then they do the morning sunrise, I think. Or they can do this photography with the flowers opening, as the sun comes up, the flower opens, and then when the sun goes down, the flower closes. And so it's all symbiotic and it's all necessary. And so this is kind of how I want you to understand the relationship between twin flames. Sometimes when divine feminine feels great, divine masculine can feel like crap. And sometimes when divine masculine feels great, divine feminine can feel like crap. Or sometimes they can, if they balance out their masculine and feminine energies within them, they can both come together in happiness, or both come together in gratitude, or both come together in a complementary way, because of course the masculine and feminine polarities are present within both. And so I often see the what's the word I'm trying to look for? I often see the opposites occurring, where, one twin flame is going, having a great time, and, they've got a new job and everything's going right for them, and they won the lotto or something, something fantastic happening, and the other twin's like, you're really depressed and in pain, or, in some kind of emotional pain, and has no money, that kind of thing. So as we learn to balance ourselves out, especially as the divine feminine, being the conscious part of the twin flame journey, it will filter to the subconscious, which is the divine masculine. Okay, so what you do for the twin flame journey becomes really, really important. Many times I get emails, and I've coached a lot of twin flames on this subject, but a lot of times the divine feminine in particular will come to me and say, my divine masculine is doing X, Y, and Z. What should I do? Or my divine masculine said X, Y, and Z. What should I do? Okay. So when someone comes to me with those questions, I find it really interesting, because I'm trying to teach the concept that it's what you do that creates what your divine masculine does. And if you do my Ascension package and my manifesting course, you'll understand that, you are actually the puppeteer, if you like, and your divine masculine is kind of like the puppet. Now, whether you know this or not, you may just be finding this out today, but your energy matters. What you do with your energy matters. What you do with your thoughts matters. What you do with your emotions matters. What you do with your life matters. Who you hang around with matters. Everything matters. Everything is a choice, and it can either bring you closer to your twin flame or separate you from your twin flame. And this is the duality here, which I'm speaking of when I'm talking about the yin and the yang. Okay, so as you come to know yourself more and more, and if you do my Ascension package or twin flame package, you will come to know yourself more and more. You will know what triggers you. You will know what binds you. You will know what makes you feel good. You will know how to make yourself happy from the inside out, not looking for things outside of yourself to make you happy. And this is a really important reflection here, because as you do that, as you make yourself happy from the inside out, your twin flame becomes more and more and more attracted to you. And as your twin flame becomes more and more attracted to you, it's like a magnet that's getting closer and closer and closer, and when it finally sticks, it does not want to let go. All right, so this is the importance here of my Ascension or twin flame package, is that it allows you to come into union with the self, which draws your twin in like crazy. And they will for many of my the people who've done my course, for many of them, have literally got a divine masculine that will not stop calling, will not stop texting, will not stop offering marriage proposals, will you know what I mean? It's this crazy OMG moment that happens from literally a guy that was never in the picture, ignoring texts, blocking texts, not being around, to a complete turnaround, and the divine feminine going, wow, how on earth did this happen? So this is what I teach in my Ascension package, and then when you do the manifesting course, this teaches you how to keep what you have going on a constant basis, whether that is a work situation, a twin flame situation, or a specific person situation. And so I want to offer this today to you, for those of you who haven't done it and really feel like you need to. I can offer it to you in modules. If you know, if you need a payment plan, that's fine. But for those people who are doing it, they are, you know, many of them are coming into union with their twins, and you know, we've got marriages happening and things. It seems quite bizarre from where they started. They're going, you know, oh well, he's never coming in, he's never talking to me, what are they doing, you know, what's he doing, kind of thing. And also divine masculines as well. But it's this place of understanding that you kind of, once you know it, you kind of go, oh, that's what I was missing this whole time, you know. And it's not just, you know, it's not just one sentence that you can understand. It's a whole range of knowledgeability that you'll come to know. All right, so I wanted to talk about this today. Embrace your shadow side. I'm not saying, you know, go out and smoke a blunt or go and get drunk with your friends. That's not what I mean when I say embrace your shadow side. I mean recognize that it is a part of you, and that it is something that you don't want to be anymore. Perhaps, you know, if you were, I don't know, eating 18 donuts you know, every morning for breakfast, that might be a behavior that you want to change, you know what I mean? So it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's an addiction, whether it's, you know, that you were in your ego and yelling at your mother every Friday when she came around or something like that. It doesn't matter what it is. Whatever it is that's part of you as your shadow side is there because of who you are and how you kind of came to be that person from a child, I guess we could say. So when I say embrace it, I mean understand it, recognize that it's there, recognize that it's also part of who you are, and perhaps you want to make it who you were. It'll never completely go away. You can never be this perfect angelic being on the earth, because you are, you know, you are in a human body. but it's the light and the dark together that make the person, and those two complement one another. And when you can recognize the darkness and know how to, you know, not go into that place again, then we can kind of avoid the dark night of the soul, going back into the dark night of the soul. Because usually the dark night of the soul is, you know, is that darker part of ourself that's overtaking the light. That's the best way I could describe it to you today. Whew. Okay, I think that's enough for today. I'm going to put this under twin flame concept videos, so that if you want to revisit this video, you can come back to it again. But I just want you to understand that all of these opposite things, including the twin flames, which are opposites yet complementary to one another, are important parts of the whole universe. Like the universe is made up of these dualities, you know, up and down, left and right, dark and night, sun and moon, etc., etc., etc. We could go on forever. You know, cat and dog. Are they opposites? I don't know. That was just a fun one I chucked in for fun. But, you know, understand that without the opposite, right, the other one wouldn't exist. You know, if you didn't know, okay, this is the last example before I go, but if you didn't know darkness, you wouldn't be able to see the light. You know what I mean? So we can appreciate the sun because at night time we have the moon. You know what I mean? It's just, it's not that one is better or worse than the other, or right or wrong, or any of that. It's just that they, you know, without the other one, you wouldn't know the other one. So it's like, I always call love and fear opposites. So if you've known fear before, or even hatred, which could become, born out of fear, then you would know how disgusting that feels, as a feeling. To have fear is a really yucky feeling. And then if you've known love, you can also know that that opposite feeling is wonderful, but it's also complementary, because without the fear you wouldn't understand the love. So being a light worker, being a twin flame, being a spiritualist, or whatever you want to call yourself or not call yourself, is all about finding what you want to be. What are you reaching for? Are you reaching for the light or the dark? Are you reaching for the love or the fear? Are you reaching for the bliss or the feeling of emptiness? Okay, you know which ones feel better to you, and that's what Ascension is. And also Ascension is, or enlightenment, we could say, is that closeness to God or source energy, depending on who you believe in. Okay, you might believe in Allah, Buddha, God, or another deity, I don't know. But as you become enlightened, you get closer and closer and closer to God. And of course the light of God is the source. And that's why, when you feel joyful, when you feel happy, when you feel loving, when you feel all of those higher emotions, all those lighter emotions, you will feel as though you're closer to source energy. Okay, so that's the goal. Unless you're a dark worker, and then you're definitely on the wrong channel. That's not what I'm here to do. All right, so if you're into witchcraft and spell work and energy work that's not of the light, then you're on the wrong channel. This is the opposite channel that you need to be on. And also, just a little caveat here, I would never suggest, if any of you are or have been dabbling in that kind of thing, remember there is karma, and I would never ever suggest to do any kind of spell work on anyone ever. Okay, so that's my little caveat today for any of you who have been thinking about that, or who have done that in the past. If you've done it in the past and you're sorry that you did it in the past or something like that, just let it go and move forward. And if you pray, ask for forgiveness, or just let it go. If you're not religious in any kind of way, you can just let it go and say, well, that was who I was then, and I'm not that now. All right, so you can always let a part of your shadow self go, and you can not embrace it, as in not do the thing, but it'll always be there. It's always there as a potential thing that you can tap into. So we can always be in the fear, we can always be in the ego, we can always be in the darkness. But if we choose the opposite, then obviously that's going to be a better choice as twin flames or light workers. Okay, I love you all so much. The Divine Masculine loves you greatly today. He is sending his love. If he can't be with you today, he is very sorry. Many of them working very hard. Many of them have got deadlines and things to do with regards to family and friends that need them there right now. Just know that they're not coming in. Or some of them aren't coming in because you're energetically pushing them away, which I said the other day, but that's a whole nother story. So just be aware of holding space for them at all times. If you want them to come in, you need to hold space for them. You need to open up your heart chakra and allow them in. If you're feeling any kind of judgment or any kind of, as I like to say, pissed offness towards them, then you'll send them away energetically. All right, so if you need me, contact me. I'd love to hear from you. And I'll see you real soon for a new video. I love you all so much. Mwah. Have a beautiful day, night, afternoon, evening, or morning, wherever you are in the world. And I'll see you real soon. Bye. Bye.